Hello everyone, how's it going? I hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here, and to another video. And as you can tell from the title, yes, we're talking about Disney Cruise Line again. But I know the last couple of videos on my channel have been quite talky, so I thought we would do something fun today. And I wanted to play a game, and I found a video a little while back that was a this or that video, but it was Disney Cruise Line version. So I thought that would be quite fun to do. There's a few questions that I can't answer because as a crew member there's certain things that you're not allowed to do, so I won't be doing some of those questions. But if you'd like to see the original video, I will leave that down below for you so you can check that out and see what the other questions are, and if it's something that you maybe want to do. If you've been on a cruise, you can go ahead and do that too if you want to. And if you want to see any of the other videos that I've made in the past about Disney Cruise Line, I will leave that playlist down below for you as well. Those videos are more about my experience working on a cruise ship, Disney Cruise Line, as a crew member. So if that is something that interests you as well, go and check those out. I will leave that below, like I said. But for now, let's get on with this video, shall we? Okay, so the first thing that I have to pick between is Sail Away Deck Party versus the See You Real Soon Party. They're basically the same thing. They both involve characters, they both involve some sort of choreography. The same song, just one of them is a slowed down, sad version because it's at the end of the cruise. The other one is at the start of the cruise, which is obviously Sail Away. I've not really seen See You Real Soon that many times, to be honest, so obviously I'm going to pick Sail Away Party because there was a period of time in my first and second contract on the Disney Fantasy, so like 2018 to 2019, I would go all the time because my breaks somehow always fell during the time that Sail Away was on. So I would go all the time with one of my really close friends. We would watch it, we'd have a great time, we would dance along with it, we knew all the choreography, we loved it, and it was so much fun. And yeah, it gives me really happy memories of doing that with her and just having a great time and enjoying myself and feeling very grateful that this was the life that I got to live on a cruise ship. So Sail Away every time. The next one is Paulo Brunch or Paulo Dinner. Now, as a crew member, we're not allowed to go to the brunches, but we are allowed to go to dinner sometimes. So I have been lucky enough to go to Paulo for dinner, which was a really great time, and we get to go for recognition purposes, so that's what I went for. And yeah, it's really great. You get to be treated like a guest for a couple of hours, you get to eat this exceptionally good food, and I finally got to experience the famous Paulo souffle, the chocolate souffle, so I was very happy with my life during that time. But I did have to go straight to work right after it, so I had to literally like run, go back to my cabin, get out of my fancy-ish clothes, run back into my costume, and then go back to work stuffed full of food, like oh my god. So yeah, that was interesting, but I'm just glad I got to go because not many people get the opportunity to go to Paulo, so that was nice. So the next question is bingo or beverage seminars. I don't really drink that much, and I didn't drink at all really on the ship. They did sometimes hold beverage seminars, like obviously after hours when we were clocked out from work, like as a crew entertainment activity, but I never went to them. Actually, one time I went to a wine and cheese evening, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. I just was there for the cheese. So I'm gonna go with bingo. They do sometimes hold bingo for the crew, which is really fun, and some people get a lot of money from it, which is wild, and it goes straight to your crew account, so you get like thousands of pounds put on your crew account. I've never won anything, unfortunately, like ever, but it's still fun to get to go and just be part of the atmosphere of people like trying to win money or prizes, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go with bingo on that occasion. New ships or old ships? Now, I've only ever been on the Disney Fantasy, so for this one, I'm going to go with new ships, obviously. But I would like to go on the Magic and the Wonder at some point, not as a crew member, probably as a guest, because I'd love to experience Alaska season, or even like the Hawaii cruises that they're going to do in New Orleans on the Wonder. And then on the Magic, I would love to go there because Rapunzel is on that ship. She has a show on that ship, she has the restaurant on that ship, so that would be amazing because she's my favourite princess. But for now, because the Fantasy is the only ship I've been on, I'm gonna have to go with new ships, obviously. Similarly, the next question is Aqueduct or Aquadunk. The Aqueduct is on the newer ships. It's the slide around the whole of the outside of the upper decks, whereas Aquadunk is on the older ships and it's just straight down, I believe. I can't really tell you much about that because I've never been on it, But I do like the aqueduct. I've been on the aqueduct quite a few times and it's a lot of fun. And it's pretty cool because it's a different perspective of the ship because you're like above ground. It's quite fun. Yeah, I like the aqueduct. Early dinner or late dinner. Now obviously this is obviously catered towards guests who have different dining rotations. There's the one at like 6 something and there's the one at 8 something. As a crew member obviously we can only go to the 8 o'clock one, so I'm gonna go with that one because that's the only one I've experienced. However, I think if I was gonna do that as a guest, I probably would want to do the early seating because I don't want to wait all day for my food. So I'd want to go to the early seating and then go to the later show and then experience the ship a little bit later on at night and go do things in the evening with my family or friends. And then say if there's fireworks, I'd want to go see fireworks. So I wouldn't want to have that clash with eating my food, which it never does. They always make sure it doesn't do that. But yeah, I'd want to have the early seating if I was a guest. But as a crew member, we can only do late seatings. So I guess it's gonna be late dinner. Broadway shows or variety acts. I don't particularly enjoy the variety acts. I have not really seen that many, to be honest, and the ones I did see I was a bit like, huh, the whole time. So I'm gonna go with Broadway shows because they are insane. It's like a whole Broadway show but like put down to like 40 minutes and they're incredible. The production value is insane on some of them, and they're so good. They're basically exactly like a Broadway show, just on a cruise ship, and the cast are amazing and they work so hard, especially if it's like really rocky. The fact that they have to put on a show sometimes when it's super rocky, and the set pieces are moving and they're trying to stay on balance or dance in these incredible dance routines whilst it's that rocky is crazy. I have a lot of respect for them. But yeah, we have on the Fantasy Believe, we have Aladdin, we have Frozen, and I love them. They're really fun, really good production value. I love it a lot. So Broadway style shows over variety acts any day. Movies on Funnel Vision or in Buena Vista Theatre. Buena Vista Theatre, usually when I go and see a movie in there, it's either super early in the morning before work on a port day, or it's super late at night on a crew premiere, which they usually have at midnight until 2 AM. So I'm usually very tired for both of them, so I usually fall asleep in those situations because I'm usually wrapped up quite warm because it can get a bit cold in the BVT, and the seats recline, so I usually fall asleep at some point. BVT also used to be my assembly station when I was part of an assembly team back on my last contract. If you were ever in E from say December 2019 to March 2020 when the cruises stopped happening, and you were on the Disney Fantasy, I would have been in your assembly team, so hi. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the BVT even though I do sometimes fall asleep in there, just because even though it's quite cool watching movies on Funnel Vision, I do get cold out there and a bit bored, and sometimes it's wet outside. So Marvel Day at Sea or Star Wars Day at Sea. Obviously Star Wars Day at Sea. I'm more of a Star Wars gal over Marvel any day. I don't watch Marvel currently at the moment. I'm thinking about doing that at some point though. But obviously I've never been on the Magic, so I've never experienced Marvel Day at Sea, but I've been on the Fantasy during Star Wars Day at Sea and it is the most fun thing ever and I love it so much. So Star Wars Day at Sea, all day, every day. Character meet and greet or pool time. I don't really go in the pools on the ship. I go sometimes. I do like going in the hot tub sometimes, and then sometimes straight after that I do go in the pool that's in the Quiet Cove area, but then back in the hot tub again because it's usually quite cold. So I'm gonna go with character meet and greets just because I love meeting the characters and interacting with them, and oftentimes we know they're friends, so if they recognize you and they're like, oh my god, they'll try and make that a really nice interaction for you. And they do a lot of meet and greets after hours and things like that for the crew as well, especially around Christmas time, Halloween, special events where they have special costumes that they wear. The characters are really fun to meet, so I'm going to go with the characters. Animation class or trivia. I'm going to go with trivia all day, every day. They do hold trivia for the crew on the ship pretty much every week actually, and it's a different crew member that holds it every week. Sometimes it's the same ones that do it mostly, and I always love going to trivia. It's a lot of fun. You get to earn prizes, and yeah, everybody gets really competitive and it's a lot of fun, and some of the questions are like really hard sometimes. Some of the themes are really interesting. I love doing it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I have never come first, but I've come like second, third before, which is always super exciting when you beat like a room full of crew members at trivia. Yeah, if I was to go back on the ship, I would probably maybe host my own trivia. I don't know, I was always scared of doing it, but if I was going to do it, I would do a Friends trivia because I love Friends. Port day or sea day? Sea days as a crew member are very, very, very stressful, especially if they're a surprise sea day when we can't dock in a port because the weather's too bad, and it can be literally very, very insane and stressful. So I'm gonna go with port day. Sometimes they are a bit boring because you're just hanging around waiting for kids to come, because the majority of them are off the ship, but yeah, I like port days, especially when you get to go off the ship and enjoy the ports for a little while and feel like you're not a crew member and that you are also a guest on the ship. And yeah, most of the time as a crew member we go and look for Wi-Fi and food, so you can always spot a crew member because we're the ones sat like in restaurants and cafes like this on our phones trying to get some Wi-Fi and download Netflix. Sunrise at sea or sunset at sea? Sunrise at sea usually means I'm getting up early for work, so I'm gonna go with sunset at sea. I love watching sunsets anyway, even if I'm not on the ship, but on the ship there's just something so magical about sunsets because, I don't know, the water's usually so calm and it's usually like so serene and it's just so peaceful, and it's just, I love it so much. The majority of my camera roll on my phone is sunsets, so definitely sunsets at sea. Oh, this one's so hard. Captain Minnie or Captain Mickey? I can't answer that one. Obviously Captain Mickey was who we had for a very long time, and then when Captain Minnie came along, when she got promoted, we were all very proud of her. Maybe I'm gonna say Captain Minnie just because she's iconic, and I'm very glad that they promoted her to captain because it's what she deserves. She's timeless, iconic, we love her, we stan Captain Minnie. But I do have a very soft spot for Captain Mickey because he's very special. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Captain Minnie, but Mickey is a close second. Port Canaveral or San Diego? Well, considering I've never docked in San Diego before, I'm gonna go with Port Canaveral. Plus, Disney World is right there, so that's a bonus. So, Port Canaveral. And then the last question I'm gonna answer is Halloween on the high seas or very maritime cruises? Surprisingly, I'm gonna go with the Halloween on the high seas cruises, which is very surprising for me considering I don't like Halloween in real life. But on the ships it's just so much fun. I love the characters and their costumes. The shows that they have are really fun, and I like the fact that we get to dress up and do trick-or-treating for the guests, which is really fun. There's a lot more things to do. Christmas time I don't particularly enjoy because that usually means I'm on the ship for Christmas, which I'm usually quite sad about because I love spending Christmas at home, and yeah, I don't really enjoy being on the ship around Christmas time, and especially as well because there's a certain period of time where you can't embark the ship or debark the ship. It's usually around like the middle of December, so like the 15th, 16th, maybe 14th of December. It's still fun, it's still quite nice, but it just doesn't feel like Christmas for me, and part of my favourite thing about Christmas and that time of year is like the build-up and everybody feeling happy and excited about Christmas, whereas I never feel that on the ship. So I'm gonna go with Halloween on the high seas. And yeah, that is all I have today for you in this video. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked this video. If you want to see more kind of challenges or game kind of videos on my channel, let me know, because I do have some that I would like to film. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot if you did that. And yeah, I will see you next time in another video. Goodbye.